The first strike cracked against my shoulder. The second caught my ribs. Pain shot through me like fire, but I didn't move. I was shielding my son. "Let her hit the boy," my father barked, voice thick with rage. My mother laughed. "This is what you get for breeding trash." The crowbar slipped from my father's hand on the last swing. It clanged against the tile. My son whimpered into my shirt. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stared at them, memorizing the scene. Because this wasn't the night they broke me. It was the night I began breaking them. It wasn't always blood between us. Once there had been trust. When I was young, my father was the man who could fix anything. My mother made soup when I was sick. They were strict, yes, but I told myself it was love. The cracks showed after I had my son. They didn't see him as family. They saw him as a weapon, another person to control me. It started small, disparaging comments. "You're soft with him. He'll never be strong like this." Then it escalated. Raised hands, threats. I kept my distance. Until that night when I walked in to find my mother towering over him, her arm raised. I stepped between them, and my father swung the crowbar. The next morning, my shoulder was purple, my ribs wrapped tight. My son's eyes followed me everywhere. He didn't ask questions. Kids learn early what silence means. That's when the heat inside me cooled into something sharper. Not rage, precision. Step 1. Evidence. Bruises photographed. Medical reports filed. A quiet meeting with a lawyer specializing in assault and custody. I started recording phone calls. Every insult, every threat, every slip of arrogance. Step 2. Patterns. They thought they were clever, never violent outside their home. But cruelty leaks. Neighbors had heard the shouting. My sister's friend had seen my father throw a chair once. People talk if you ask the right way. I collected it all. Step 3. Leverage. They valued their reputation. The doting grandparents, the stable marriage, the community volunteers. That mask was my entry point. I found every unpaid bill, every shady side deal my father made, my mother's petty theft from her own workplace. Little things, but enough to fracture their image if shown to the right people. The legal side came first. I filed for a restraining order, not just for me, but for my son. The recordings, the photos, the witness statements, all of it went into a clean, airtight package my lawyer presented to the judge. The court granted it immediately. They couldn't come within 500 feet of either of us. My father's jaw tightened when the order was read. My mother muttered under her breath. They didn't know that was just the first cut. Next came the financial side. I had proof they'd stolen from my accounts over the years. Loans they never repaid, withdrawals they thought I wouldn't notice. It wasn't huge money, but in legal terms, it was theft. We sued for repayment. Slowly, methodically. Every delay meant more lawyer fees for them, more public record of their wrongdoing. While the case crawled forward, I worked the social front. The friendly neighbor who'd once ignored my bruises suddenly had copies of the police reports. My father's employer was anonymously informed of the active assault case. My mother's church group got word of her restraining order. They called me, begged me to stop. I didn't answer. The climax came 6 months later, in a mediation room. They were pale, exhausted. My father's hands trembled. My mother's lipstick was uneven. A small detail, but telling. The mediator slid the settlement agreement across the table. It wasn't just repayment, it was an admission of guilt. Permanent, on record. My father's voice cracked. This will ruin us." I leaned forward, calm. "Good." They signed. When it was done, I didn't leave right away. I pulled out my phone and played an audio clip. "Let her hit the boy," my father's voice. "This is what you get for breeding trash." My mother's. I watched their faces as they heard their own words. "You wanted him to see me broken," I said. "Now he gets to see me win." I stood, gathered my papers, and walked out. They kept sending payments for years, every month like clockwork. Every payment a reminder that the night they thought they'd destroyed me was the night I started dismantling them. My son doesn't talk about it, but one evening as we drove past their old house, now sold, he said, "They can't hurt us anymore." "No," I told him, "they can't." Justice didn't come in one swing. It came piece by piece, until there was nothing left of them but the echo of their own cruelty. And I kept my promise. They were the ones begging next.